morning, everyone, and welcome to another live broadcast of Wealth Building Wednesday, WBW, brought to you by the WK Kellogg Foundation. TRHTSelma.org is the website you can go to learn all about what we are doing as TRHT Selma to make sure that folks are learning about our community's history, to make sure that we are learning, sharing, and growing together when it comes to information sharing. And Wealth Building Wednesday is actually a product of some of the transformational work that we are doing as a partnership. TRHT Selma exists as a partnership between the Black Belt Community Foundation, which is based here in the historic city of Selma, Alabama, as well as the Selma Center for Nonviolence, Truth, and Reconciliation. We are delighted to be with you every single Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We also rebroadcast the audio of every Wednesday's show on our media partner, WBFZ 105.3. So I want to encourage each of you all that are tuned in right now, tell a friend to log in because our guest today, listen, she has made a return in 2022. She is an awesome guest every single time. Everything she says, honey, get your notepad out because she's about to drop some information and some news that we can all use. She is joining us as a part of our series dedicated to small business ownership and entrepreneurship. And who we have with us today is Miss Marianne Gibbons. She's a branch manager with Hope Credit Union. And even though they do not have a branch yet in Selma,
Yes.
Alabama, right? Not yet. But they are on the ground every single day working with folks across the Black Belt of Alabama to make, and actually in other states as well. You all have branches in other states. But right now, we're focused on how do we equip people in our community to make sure that as small business owners, we are filing the necessary documents, that we know how to get financing, and that what we can exercise our abilities, right, to access that information. So, welcome this morning, Ms. Gibbons.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Excited to be here. Glad to be back.
Yes. And look, the last time you were here, we didn't have the video intro and all that kind of stuff. So this is a great experience for us. So again, want to encourage everyone to tell a friend, tag and share this video. Because if you are a small business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are somebody who is considering becoming an entrepreneur, this is going to be valuable information related to small business funding and banking that is so relevant right now. I know and we were talking before the broadcast began about PPP loans, and watching people come in and try to take access of the program, but then who weren't necessarily able to take advantage of the program at the time or had to do some back work, if you will, completing some necessary documentation in order to access those funds. But I wanted to inquire and just dive straight into the questions because this actually relates to the questions. And the first one in particular, because you all are well equipped to help our small business owners.
Yes.
So we're in the midst of this series focused on entrepreneurship and small business ownership, and wondering how Hope Credit Union in particular is setting itself apart when it comes to being able to assist small business owners in accessing banking and funding opportunities.
So, what really sets us apart is as an organization, we truly believe in building partnerships, building relationships with our members, not just seeing them as a number, not just seeing them as we see them as a person and as a person as a whole. When someone comes into the credit union, a business owner come into the credit union to establish an account or just to inquire about our products and services, we listen to them and we believe in giving them guidance and tools to get to where they need to be at. We set ourselves apart because we go into areas where other businesses wouldn't go into, what other banks and financial institutions wouldn't go into. We believe in serving the underserved, the underbanked, the people who are left out. We seek out those areas to be able to assist, to give everybody the opportunity to be able to have access to business, being a business access to capital, access to being a homeowner, to be able to buy cars, if they need loans just to replace a washing machine and a dryer without having to go to payday lenders with those high
Yes.
interest rates. We set ourselves apart because we offer different products and services to service those people. And we, with those products and services that we offer, they're geared towards not necessarily looking at a credit score and approving people based on a credit score. We approve, none of our loans are based just upon credit, approved based upon credit score. Credit score is for rating. We look at the whole picture of the person and realize that different things happen in people's lives that could cause mishaps. People could go through a divorce, people could lose their jobs. People, we just went through the whole thing with COVID and we're still in the midst of that. And people were laid off. So we understand that. And we believe in helping people become strong financial families. And by doing that, you have to give people knowledge. You can't just let someone come in and apply for something and then just send them a letter in the mail and tell them you were denied. Well, they need to know why they didn't qualify at that time.
Amen.
So what we do, even in the midst of that, when someone comes in, we educate. We don't tell them no. We say not at this time, but if you do this, this, and this, and this, you can make it to a yes. So that's what set us apart. That's what set Hope apart.
Awesome. And I know that you also mentioned before we started the broadcast that you all as branch managers are specifically charged with, as a part of your jobs, in helping people to navigate those
Yes.
those different situations that you were describing. So what kind of services as branch managers are you able to provide folks? And mind you, this is free, right?
Yes, it's free.
Okay.
If a person comes in and wants to talk about their applying for a loan or establishing business credit, we don't just push people to the side or just say you're not applying for something. We give them the tools. We sit down with them, give them documentation, give them guidance, ask them questions. How's your business set up?
Okay.
How long has your business been in business? Have you established a business account, or are you doing all your business transactions through your personal account?
Right.
Have you filed taxes for your business? Have you structured your business where you will file taxes correctly? Those type of things. And then we'll find out that a lot of times people have structured their business incorrectly. They don't understand when they say, sole proprietors or LLC. When it comes down to LLC and that's with partners in there, what percentage it is, and understanding that you have over a particular percentage, someone's on over particular percentage that everybody has to go on the loan. It's knowledge. So we take that time and guide them through that process, and not only guide them through that process, but send them to people, connect them with other partners to get them where they need to be at. So if someone doesn't have a tax preparer, okay, have you been to the small economic division in Montgomery downtown? Have you connected to this person or that person? We're able to be able to do that. So we're able to give them access to things that we have to offer and to other partners that we have to get them where they need to be at.
Awesome. So now you heard it here. If you didn't know, now you know. Hope Credit Union is able to walk you step by step through the processes of establishing your business. They can direct you to the resources necessary. And again, this is all free, y'all. You don't have to pay people hundreds or thousands of dollars to go through this process. These are processes that are at your fingertips, literally just simply by contacting one of the branch managers or anyone really at Hope Credit Union, and they can connect you to the resources you may have been looking for. So I want to inquire about the ups and downs, right? You talked about COVID, and we all know that businesses, especially small businesses, have gone through some serious ups and downs. But what are some of the major pitfalls that you've seen small business owners get into related to, like, banking relationships, or not banking, having a banking relationship at all, or securing financing for their business?
Well, the first issue is one, not having a banking relationship at all. A lot of small business owners, when they come in, don't have business accounts established anywhere. They have personal accounts established, and through their personal account, we find out that's what they're doing all of their business transactions through. So they haven't built a relationship with the bank or credit union on their business side, and separated their funds, their deposits and expenses from their personal to their business. That's the first thing that we see. And when you go to get financial assistance, majority of the time they're going to ask for your 2-month bank statements for your business so they can see deposits going in and your expenses, just off the bat, just looking at it, see how you handle your funds. And a lot of times they don't have that because they didn't know. So that's number one. And then number two is filing taxes. Some of them don't understand about, okay, you're a business owner, that you need to file taxes for your business. They have in their minds that if they're a business owner, they're going to automatically owe taxes. And I tell them, even if you do get to the point where you owe taxes, that they have payment plans set up, that can help you. You want to do that, and make those payment plans. A lot of other things that we see that are issues is when small business owners do file taxes, they take losses. Well, if you take losses on your tax returns, then that's showing that you're not profitable. You're not making money. So when you come to a financial institution, we're looking at, okay, can your business cash flow? If you're asking for this amount of money and you want to, apply for the loan, and we got to be able to make sure that your business cash flows and you have the capability to pay the loan back. Well, if you're taking losses and showing a negative income, it's as if your business is not making money. Right. So, you really need to, think about those things when you're as a business owner. You're going to want some financial help at some point. You might not. You might be very profitable. You may never need any. But if you do, you want to show, some profit that you have the capability to pay back on your business side, and a lot of business owners, when they first start out, yes. And I tell them all the time, which is another issue. When you first start out as a business owner, you need to make sure that your credit, your personal credit, is in good standings. Because when you apply for a loan, we're looking at not only how your business is structured, what income for your business, how the business is doing, but we're also looking, because you will be a guarantor on that loan, how you handle your finances, especially for startups, because startups don't have any funds yet. So everything is going to be relying on that guarantor. So we want to make sure that as a business owner that we are financially stable, that we are making sure that our creditors are paid on time, that we have good, we're financially sound. So when you get ready to go and apply for something and they're looking at your own personal credit, it will not be a hindrance for you moving forward.
So that's really great information. And as folks who are tuned in, and whether they're watching live or listening or revisiting this, because the broadcast will be available long after we're complete here. But this is really good for folks to consider, right? The Great Resignation. This is something that we've read about and heard about in the news for a couple of months now, that people are looking at employment and job positioning in a different way, largely as a result of COVID.
Yeah.
And so when we're considering if entrepreneurship is something that we are considering, these are great things to work on now, right? Yeah. So even if you have current 9-to-5 stable employability, working on your personal credit, right? So that you can serve as your own personal guarantor, because see, co-signing, people know, look, people are caught on to the game now. Look, like, Auntie, will you co-sign for me? Absolutely not. If you didn't pay those companies, what makes you think, why should I think you're going to pay me? Right? So people are thinking like that now. So it's important that while we may have multiple streams of income, before we take that deep dive into entrepreneurship, let's make sure that we have our own personal credit. And again, these are services that are available for free at Hope Credit Union. Listen, I am an advocate for free, honey. Look, now everything free is not good for you, but this right here is some good information. So what about triumphs? We talked about the challenges that small business owners may may face as we're looking for financing and establishing banking relationships. But what are an example of some triumphs that you have really seen folks just pull through and just say, congratulations, like you have followed the steps and this is working? What are some triumphs that you've seen?
I can remember one of our long-term members decided he wanted to go out on his own for a business, start up a business, something very small. He wanted to do a car wash detailing. And he came in, of course, had some issues with on his own personal credit. We went through that. I wasn't able to help him at that moment. Mm-hmm. We went through his credit and told him and explained to him the different things on his credit. Let's start with the collection items and start paying those items off. And he took the advice. It took him a year and a half. He got those things cleared up, began to see his credit score increase, and he began to save. Putting money set aside money in his account, begin to save, and started with a small amount. But he was dedicated to the work. And that was the thing, being dedicated to the work. If you really want your business to, work and to flow and be prosperous, you got to be dedicated to you, because it's your business. It's your business. Yeah. So you want to be dedicated to yourself. So he put in the work, came back to us after that, and was able to secure a small loan. Right now we have something called a Power Hope business loan, where you can get up to $10,000 with the interest rate at 3%. Doesn't make a difference what the credit score is, and you don't make a payment for the first 90 days. Your business had to be affected by COVID to apply for it. And that's something geared towards helping small business. And so they were able to take advantage of that. You had to you establish a relationship with the banker, with the credit union. You took the steps to get your personal credit on track, and you begin to save. And when he did all of those things and got himself where he wanted to and felt like he was ready, he came back and acquired a loan and was able to get it. And I was like, okay, here's one. If you can do it, there's plenty more. But it's just, he didn't know at the beginning. And then he took the advice and he took the knowledge and he went with it and ran with it, and he was dedicated to the work. So it felt very good to see someone stick through it and do what's necessary to become successful.
Now, one thing that you said, now you have just told us that is a really great example. But one thing you said made the difference. He was willing to follow the advice.
Yep.
So and I want to encourage anyone who's listening, whether it's related to your personal or your business credit, when reputable people, right? Because see, we're going to always have these voices, right, that are telling us things. But when reputable people who have a tried and true reputation of being able to provide valuable information and insight into exploring whatever your business opportunity or idea may be, when folks offer you the steps, you got to follow the directions.
Yes. Yeah. And you will succeed.
Absolutely. Now we have a question from a viewer. She wants to know, what, if any, differences have you noticed for businesses who provide services versus those who might provide goods? So I think she's referring to, like, if it's a business that is, say, like a consulting company versus, say, a grocery store. Are there differences in how folks need to establish themselves, or rates of failure or rates of success?
No, if you provide service or you do consulting, okay, it's a business. You just need to research your particular segment market, a market segment, and see how your business will fit in that, and just structure yourself based on your vision, and the knowledge that you receive in regards to your particular type of business. And I tell people all the time, research, ask questions, and get knowledge on, for yourself, so you would know for yourself how, if you wanted to, if there's let's say Mary Kay Consultants, if it's a whole bunch of Mary Kay consultants in your area, you got to see, okay, how profitable am I going to be in this area? Do I need to branch out and go somewhere? So you have to do, your research. But no, when it comes down to a business, there's really no difference if you're doing consulting or you servicing goods.
Okay. So now I do want to quickly ask the question about business credit. How important is it for a small business to establish and maintain business credit?
It's important.
Okay.
As I stated out from the beginning, usually it starts with your own credit, getting you started,
Mhm.
maintaining your own credit, and then building that relationship with the particular financial institution. If you come to a financial institution and you get a small loan and you pay that small loan back timely, on time, dedicated to making sure that not only you're paying back that where you got that financial institution, but you're paying back other people. When you
Okay.
get ready to go back, you're showing that, hey, I'm capable and I'm trustworthy, to be able to you know receive lending from you,
Okay.
and I'm going to do what's right, because I want to build that relationship. And usually when you do that and you get ready to go back to them, the lender, I'll be like, okay, yeah, hey, how you doing? You paid that loan off. What do you need now? Or are you wanting to expand, or you need more, equipment? Let's see how we can help you, and go from there. And your lender will be familiar with you and then your pay history. So when we present those loans to our to the underwriting department, we can write up, hey, strong long-term member, strong capability, stable income. We can tell them the story behind you, and they would know, okay, that underwriter, this branch manager knows this person. They built a relationship with them, and it's much smoother. Much
You
smoother.
know, as with all things, relationship matters. And
Yes.
with what you are saying right now, I just kept hearing the resonation of relationship matters. So that means that for my folks who are out, listen, on the first and the third and the fifth and the 15th, and as soon as that money is directly deposited, it is gone out of that account. That does not establish a banking relationship. A banking relationship is established when you allow the money to sit and people can actually, the bank can see what she's describing. If Hope Credit Union can look at your account and say that you've been a member for the last 5 years, this is your average daily minimum deposit on hand. Your
Yeah.
bills are being paid at this rate per month. They could actually, like, literally, the bank can look at you and look at your report and tell you how much your monthly expenses. You're having a hard time establishing your spending plan or budget, but spending plan, we're gonna call it spending plan because nobody wants to go on a diet or have a budget. Look, we're gonna have eating plans and spending plans. If you want to know about how to establish your spending plan and want to know if you're paying all of your bills out of one account, I guarantee you, when you visit Hope Credit Union, you've been a member and they can track that information. They can look at it and tell you this is your average spending per month, right? And there are a lot of apps that can do that now with your banking. They tell you what you're spending on gas, on groceries, right?
Mhm.
So now, what about once we have business credit, right? What are some things that we can do to build it up further, or and maintain that good business credit? I know you said paying our bills on time, but are there any tips that you might be able to give small business owners to help us build our credit rating?
Saving,
Okay.
having saving, start saving. Help with the financial institution as you have good, strong business credit. Begin to build good, strong business savings, and that's for showing that you have set aside cash.
Okay.
In case you want to come and get an unsecured loan. Okay, you're coming to ask for an unsecured loan, and you have $15,000 in the bank that we've seen that you've stored up over a period of time, even with your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've paid your expenses, you've paid a loan that you've had and other expenses, but you're able to save at the same time. That's building business credit. Because once we look at those bank statements and we look and see, okay, they've had these funds in here for a long period of time, they've been saving, then we know they have the capability to pay back.
Okay.
Because if you're able to save and let it sit there and save, and I don't care if it's, I tell people start with the smallest amount that you can do. And I don't care if it's $1.
Yeah.
Start somewhere. Don't get discouraged about the amount. Be dedicated to the task. And don't worry about what, such and such, because sometimes we compare ourselves to other people. We compare ourselves to other businesses. We compare ourselves just period. But don't do that. Set goals for yourself. I'm going to set aside, $5 a pay period and dedicate that money to go to savings. And then as you begin to continue to do that, be consistent with it, you'll begin to save even more. So that's another good avenue, is beginning to save. Save.
Are there any lending institutions or kind of, I don't want to, are there any services or institutions that you think that small business owners need to be careful of, or question when they're trying to connect and say, like, boost their business credit scores or seek funding? Like, are there any things that you would encourage small business owners to just really look into that a little bit more?
I always tell people to look, anytime you got to spend, if they're requiring you to spend out money to become a part or to invest in something to get knowledge, look into it a little bit more to see what you're going to actually gain from it. I can understand, sewing into a company or partnering with a company for a particular reason, but there are companies out there now that charge just for knowledge. So you want to research and look for avenues where you can get the same knowledge for your favorite word, free.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different agencies out here that are geared towards helping people. And then call financial. If you're banking anywhere, I would encourage you to go to them, ask them, hey, do you guys have products and services? Do you have partners that can help me do this, and that? You have your money in that financial institution, and they have partnerships that we might not be able to help with for you with that particular situation, but we have partnerships that we can direct you into and guide you into. Pretty much most of them are free, and it's just simply go back to just simply asking, researching.
So we are almost out of time, and it seems like folks are really, really engaged in the conversation. And you all know, Wealth Building Wednesday, we do not interview anybody just once. We always invite folks to be back. So Ms. Givens is definitely coming back to share more information. But before we get out of here, just wanted to quickly inquire about financial or financing opportunities. Are there any opportunities? I know you mentioned one, if you don't mind sharing that again, for small business owners who may have been impacted by COVID, but are there other resources that Hope Credit Union can help small business owners access for financing?
Yes, we have a entire small business portfolio for we can lend on my side, on the retail side, we can lend up to $250,000. And then anything over 250 can go to our commercial department. So we have a small business division within Hope. So if anyone is interested in any type of small business funding or financing, reach out to us. We have a branch. My branch is located in Montgomery, Alabama on McGee Road. We're next to the probate office. I always say across from the old Montgomery Mall. We have another branch. Miss Anita Stevenson and Erica Sanders are the managers at that location on Arbor Street, 400 Arbor Street. So reach out to one of our branches. My assistant manager here is Miss Treasure Smith. Myself, a treasurer, will be able to assist you guys and give you guidance in whatever you're funding or whatever you're asking and whatever you're needing. So yes, we do have products and services for small business. We have 3 different type of business accounts, checking accounts that we're able to offer. So just reach out to us.
And what's a good number for folks who are interested in accessing and calling? Look, I don't want your phone lines to blow up right now. But I really do, because it means that people are engaged with the information and want to work with Hope Credit Union, which is a great thing, because I know you all do some phenomenal work on behalf of folks across the Black Belt. So what's a good number for folks to call?
They can reach, if you're over closer in the McGee Road location, like I stated, over by the old Montgomery Mall. That's my branch. The number here is 334-604-4110. And you can ask to speak to Mary Ann Givens or my assistant manager, Treasurer Smith. If they're closer to downtown, they can go to call Arbor Street location. It is at 400 Arbor Street. The number there is 334-834-7483. And they can ask to speak to Miss Anita Stevenson or Erica Sanders.
Okay. Now, that is great information. If you're watching live, those numbers and information are located right in the comment section. If you are watching this, regardless of whether you're watching it right now, you tuned in live, or if you happen to tune in and hear it on the radio and come back to Facebook 2 months from now, if you have a question, please feel free to either message the Selma Center for Nonviolence or the Black Belt Community Foundation. If you know me personally, hey, hit me up, text, email, however, because we want to make sure that as Ms. Givens continues to be a partner with us here at Wealth Building Wednesday, that we're answering the questions that you have. This is not about me, it's not about Hope Credit Union, it's not about any bank or any, this is about you. We want to be able to help you, the listeners, the viewers who are tuned in and ready for 2022 to be the best year ever. We're trying to position ourselves to take advantage of all of the opportunities that we're being afforded, and TRHT Selma is excited to be a part of your growth. So, Ms. Givens, I do want to thank you for being here with us, and it is a delight as always to talk to you. You always have such great information to share. So thank you so much for being here. Again, we just want to encourage you each and every Wednesday, 10 o'clock a.m., tune into Wealth Building Wednesday, brought to you by TRHT Selma. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you.